25 years ago, you're diagnosed with MS. When the doctor tells you you've got MS, what are some of the first things that go through your mind?
I'm gonna die. That was a roughest day and night of my entire being. First of all, I was 26. Just having one hit after another. I mean, I certainly didn't feel sick. It was it was the defining moment in my life of where you're going to go from here. But something happened. I was told that night that I was going to be in a wheelchair, and then I was going to die. Because
How long did they say before you would be in a wheelchair?
it told me I'd be in a wheelchair in less than 2 years and dead shortly after that.
Wow.
It's it's beautiful. It really is a beautiful story. 25 years later, my MS doc last year retired, and he had put my chart together for my new doctor, and we were all meeting at the clinic. And it was kind of like passing of the keys, over to the new guy. And it was uncomfortable for me. I really did not want to, make that change, but it was inevitable because you got to have a licensed doctor. My retired doctor was going to let his license go. And I love the new doctor, but the new doctor had examined my chart from my diagnosis to present. And my retiring doctor in front of me says to the new doctor, he says, "What do you think?" And the new doctor looked at him. They're standing this far apart. And he goes, "It's a miracle." I said, "You guys are making me uncomfortable." I said, "Why are you saying that?" The new doctor said, "Because," he says, "looking at the amount of lesions on your brain and spinal cord." Well, what makes it a miracle? He says, "Well," he says, "you don't normally see someone not only not progress, but have no progression." I said, "How often have you seen it look like that?" He goes, "Never." So it's a beautiful story, and that came from faith.
So we go back 25 years. Doctor tells you got MS. If on that day someone had told you your life would be this good 25 years later, what would you have said to them?
Well, after getting diagnosed and then prognosed, I prayed to God and I begged him to give me 10 years. Just to live, not live out of a wheelchair, but would you let me live 10 years? And 25 years later, I am not looking back. I'm looking forward, and I'm looking forward to a future with my children and living a full life and loving God and being thankful every day. That I'm a sinner, and His grace is still sufficient, even for a rogue like me.
Do you feel like it's hanging over you? What's it like living with MS?
Only someone with MS knows, and could appreciate that. And, it's like having a baby, even a pregnant woman, she doesn't even know what it's like to be a mother until the baby comes out. There is no getting somebody ready for that moment. It's you got to have done it to know it. But the best way I could describe it is MS. We still don't know what causes it. and we still don't have a cure. When you look at those two things after this amount of years, I thought I was going to be that guy. I really did. And I devoted everything I had, to trying to figure those two things out. And I still have not been able to crack that code. And doesn't mean that I give up. It's tough. It's tough because I see so many people that have MS who can't walk, can't talk. Some of them, it affects their throat. That's what I feared the most, is that it was going to affect my speech. And all of those things, fell by the wayside. I have this incredible courage because of my inner faith. And I remember the night I was diagnosed, I went home and my teeth chattered, and I was literally having a nervous breakdown over it. And I remember the next morning, I got out of bed. I didn't sleep, but I got out of bed at daylight, and I walked into one of the back rooms, shut the door, locked it, had my guitar. I laid on the floor, totally prostrate, as they say, just flat as I could get on the floor, crying. And I prayed out to God. And I was begging him for my life. But then there was this moment that I felt this unbelievable strength come over my body, and I knew that it was the Holy Spirit. I lost all fear. And I said to God, I surrender. Any way you want it to go, bud, I'm going to go that way. It was. I never cried again over MS.
How has living with MS made you a better man?
For all the right reasons that you would think. There are some people that think, okay, you become religious because you get a diagnosis like that. That's not true. I would compare it to being rich. Being poor and being rich. Does being rich change who you are? No. Being rich magnifies what you are. If you're a jerk, you're going to be a 10 times bigger jerk. If you're a good person and you become rich, you are going to be generous. If you're a bad person and you get diagnosed with something like that, you can say, screw God, I'm done with this, he didn't protect me, blah, blah, blah. I found out that I did have faith, and I chose to surrender all of it, because I believe that we are creations, and that there's a creator that knows every fiber of your being, and nobody can fix it as good as he can. So that's the only thing that explains why my MS went into remission like it did. It just doesn't happen that way.
We don't know what causes it, as you said. We don't have a cure for it. One person gets diagnosed with MS every hour of every day, every year in the United States. What would you say to a person who was diagnosed with MS today?
I would say, if you can find a way to be calm and hear these words, you're going to be okay. We can do more for MS today than when I was diagnosed 25 years ago. There was nothing. I mean, nothing. It was, the phrase was, diagnose and adios. Today, there are medications that can reduce the damage that MS can do by light years. So that's a great thing, right? A great thing. It's not a racket. You know, most people are against pharmaceutical companies, and maybe for good reason. But where MS is concerned, I've seen too many people. I've been in the tightest circles of doctors, the tightest circle of pharmaceuticals, the tightest circles of the patients. The ones that are on the medication are doing way better. So take control of what you can control. And if you have faith, pray.
What is something that you've done to manage MS that didn't come from your doctor? Something around
Oh, there's a lot of
lifestyle,
things.
something around attitude.
There's a lot of things. You know, the medicine part of it is only half the battle.
Mm.
You know, it's and the other pieces, you know, that I think are significant are, it's important to be healthy as you can be. There's no magic diet for MS. It's BS. I've been through all of it. I already know. You know, I was a fanatic when I was first diagnosed. I would only eat steamed vegetables, steamed fish, and drink water. I lost 40 pounds. I was, I and was almost emaciated looking, you know, because I went over the top with it. And, you know, now I have wine, I eat red meat, I lightly exercise, I stay active, very, very active. The psychological piece of it is very important, and you need a support group. Hopefully that's your family, hopefully. But some people don't have tight ties with their
Sure.
family, or they don't have a significant other that's supportive of them. A lot of people get divorced when they get MS. But it is important to talk. It is therapy. You know, whenever I hear someone tell me, hey, I know this person that got diagnosed, or what's their number? I don't care. Every single time I hear that, it's my way of giving back. It's my way of showing him, hey, I'm grateful. Let me reach out to that person and be that voice. I was talking to a man who's 35 years old. This is last week. Someone randomly told me about a guy they knew that had MS. I called him. And he was being bold in the beginning, you know, and tough and everything. He has 3 kids, wife, 3 kids. And I said, hey, I said, I want to tell you something. I want you to listen real close when I say this. You're going to be all right. He broke down and started crying.
Mm.
He needed to hear that. If you've been newly diagnosed, that's the truth. You're going to be all right.